I went to my first Pokemon NAIC, which stands for the North American International Championship. This event served as the end of the 2025 competitive season for the video games, Pokemon Go, Unite, and what I traveled here for, the TCG. Similar to last year, NAIC was held in New Orleans, so we had a great weekend of not just Pokemon ahead of us, but also so much good food. If you watched I went to my first Pokemon TCG regional from a couple months back, you'll know that this is my first season playing competitive Pokemon. Or I guess if you use the context clues of first in the title, either way, I'll give you a quick recap of how the season works. First up, you've got locals, which are worth no challenge points, but you can go to it to earn store credit, prize pack, stuff like that. Then you've got your league challenges and your league cups. All three of these are low stakes, Swiss rounds to determine top placement, and for cups specifically, it does include a top 8 or top 4, depending on how many players are there, who battle it out bracket style for the win. Next, you've got the aforementioned regional events, which take things to a whole new level. These, while being official Pokemon events, are put on by event organizers, while TPCI are more overseers. These have 2 days of play on Saturday and Sunday, day 1 and half of day 2 being those Swiss rounds, and the end of day 2 is your top cuts. This past season it's been an asymmetrical cut, and they weed it down to the top 8 and then go for the big finale, which then brings us to ICs. So there are 3 of them a year. You have the European, Latin American, and the North America International Championships. These are put on directly by TPCI, and just walking into the venue, you can already tell just how much bigger things are. Okay, that might just be the Pikachus, but still, ICs are just so cool. Like I mentioned earlier, this event serves as the end of the 2025 competitive season. The only thing after this is the annual Pokemon Worlds Championships, which is an invite-only event, meaning NAIC is where all the top players are going to be battling it out for their final chance this season to get the points they need for placement, whether they want to, just see how high they could get, or if they want that invite to the Worlds that they haven't gotten yet. Only the top 125 NA players will get an invite based on their champion points. Otherwise, you can get an invite from winning a regional or top 4ing an IC. Spoiler alert, I don't make top 4. But before we can do any of that, we gotta check in, get our competitor badges, as well as pick up our swag bag. Playing at one of these events typically costs around $70-ish to get in, and for that you do get some competitor gifts. And these were some of the favorite things that I got this weekend. All the swag this weekend was kind of themed around the Ogre Ponds, in this case specifically Cornerstone Ogre Pond. For swag, we got a really nice hat, which has a Pokemon, an International Championship North America stamp on the back of it. It's got that Play Pokemon logo on it, the 2025 on the side, as well as the Cornerstone Ogre Pond. We also got a deck box, deck sleeves, a very cool enamel pin, and for all events you typically get a stamped card of some kind. At the regional it was the Surfer card, which isn't meta, not used at all, but for the IC we got a stamped Buddy Buddy Poffin, which I immediately added to my deck. And of course, you can't forget that North America 2025 competitor playmat. At regionals, really the only type of merchandise there is put on by vendors other than the prize wall, but here at ICs, the TPCI has put on a Pokemon Center. It is by reservation only, and while I didn't manage to get a reservation until later in the weekend, someone in our group managed to get one that had 4 places, so we were able to go in on Thursday, which is great because things tend to sell out pretty quickly at these Pokemon Centers. So we were able to get in there before anything was sold out. I think we all spent way too much money, but that's neither here nor there. There were just so many cool things in here. Some expensive things as well. The chess set was incredible. But let's just take a quick break from the recap and take a quick look at the Pokemon Center Hall. Okay, so I meant to film this while we were still in New Orleans, or at least right when I got back, but I forgot. It's been a couple weeks, but this is still the Pokemon Center Hall. I definitely spent more than I should have, but less than I could have. The first thing you'll notice is the NAIC 2025 shirt with the New Orleans on the back. I wish I would have gotten the slide-up shirt as well, but I am happy with this one. My most exciting purchase, though, is the NAIC, or I guess just the IC, because they were selling this in all of them, Ogre Pond 2025 backpack. This is great. I've been needing a backpack to take when I'm going to challenges and cups. Honestly, one of the things that excited me so much about this backpack, such a stupid thing, is the fact that within, it didn't come with this, it came empty, but it comes with a little strap here to hold your play mat, or the tube that's in, which is just such a dumb feature, but absolutely sold me on this backpack. It's also got a place to hold pins in the front. I don't have any right now, but it's all the Ogre Pawn stuff on it. So much zippers, so many places to hold stuff. Super excited about this. The other thing that I bought was another hat. Went with the Psyduck one for the IC 2025. This is the one I wish I had bought the t-shirt that also had the styling on it. But when I was in the first day, I felt like I was spending too much money and I would get it a later day, but that shirt sold out so quickly. One of the exclusive things that also sold out so quickly, but we managed to get because we were in on the first day, was the specific playmat for Psyduck. This has been the playmat I've been using since I've gotten back. All I've gone to since I've gotten back is a single locals though, but it will be the playmat I probably use for a little bit just because it's really cool. My first IC, and just the art on it is really, really cool. I know this sold out very quickly, so I'm very excited we got it. I did get another playmat while we were there. As you saw, since we were competitors, we did get the specific playmat for the event that said competitor on it with the Ogre Pawn on it. This one is specific for the ICs following that Ogre Pawn theme, with all 4 ogres over here and then just regular Ogre Pawn here, all the masks. It says the 2025 on it. I thought it was a really fun design. Yeah, I like it. Ogre Pawn is not like my favorite Pokemon, but they're pretty cool. I didn't mention it at the beginning, but all of the stuff when we bought there came in these really fun reusable bags that were just given to us as part of it. And if you were there early enough in it, they were just like giving you extras, which we walked through on Sunday because someone had a reservation, and I think they heavily regretted it because they were running really short on a lot of bags. I managed to get 2 of these and the Pikachu one, which is great for shopping. I just got a couple more things that I picked up there. I picked up the 2025 IC deck box. Again, all of the Ogre Pawn theming. Inside has the 2 deck boxes within, one with 4 masks, one with the IC, and then you've got some dividers in there, which are pretty cool. I almost sold that before it all fell apart. But I can never have too many places to store decks because I build too many decks, so always happy to have it. Also picked up, it's already out of its because it's been in my background, but I also got the Psyduck pin. Was a very cool pin. The only pin I picked up while I was there. While I don't think I have any use for these, they were cheap, so I bought them. I got the 2025 Ogre Pawn sleeves as well. I tend to just use green original matte Dragon Shield sleeves, but I was like, it's my first one, it's themed, I'm gonna grab it. And then for the plush I bought, Badoo is probably one of the most impactful cards I think we've had recently. Monkey Dory is another one. Monkey Dory probably more so because it can fit into so many more decks. But Badoo with its Itchy Pollen attack, turning off items, has been impactful. Whether you love it or you hate it, so I had to pick up a Sitting Cutie. Every time I go to a Pokemon event, I always grab a Sitting Cutie. As you can tell, I kind of have a bit of a problem with owning too many Pokemon plush, and so I figured, why not throw in another one? I did also grab another Sitting Cutie for Hoot Hoot, which I like owls. Owlers are cool. I got a Rowlet up there. So I was like, let's get another owl and get the Hoot Hoot, because Hoot Hoot sits real cute right back there with them. And then this was not from the Pokemon Center, but I did pick it up from a vendor upstairs. I want to say their name was like Yeti Gaming or something. They have been some of the most well-priced Pokemon plush I've seen at these events that are not super overcharging, that are charging like 20 bucks for a plush. For these Sitting Cuties, you can buy them from Pokemon Center online for like $15, $16, then you still have to pay shipping. So I was like, 20 bucks, pretty comparable to get myself a little Spoink. I love to use Spoink when I played through Pokemon Emerald as a kid, so I figured why not pick them up because they are pretty freaking cute. All in all, I didn't spend a ton of money. I still spent a couple $100s. I bought a couple extra things over the weekend in ETB, and then a few different booster bundles for not Twilight Masquerade, but the other one, Shrouded Fable, which we'll talk about later in the video. But then while I was also there, I picked up the Psyduck hoodie as well as Paldean Fates on my first go through. For someone else, they paid me the money for it just because I didn't. I don't wear sweatshirts, but I still picked those up anyway, so I did technically buy them. But that's the haul. With the Pokemon Center said and done, and our wallets definitely filling it, we spent the rest of the day walking around and checking out the vendors, and then that night we went to a local bar and took on some Pokemon trivia. We ended up doing pretty bad, so we headed out early to re-sleeve our decks, do some last minute testing, and get some well-needed shut-eye before day one. Day one of NAIC landed on Friday the 13th, and we were welcomed into the venue with all of the judges of the event clapping and cheering as competitors and spectators made their way down the red carpet to get ready for our first day of play. The TCG tables were in the back of the venue, so while we couldn't be over near the stage for the opening ceremony, there were screens all throughout the venue, so we at least got to watch the very exciting, over-the-top celebration. Very cool to see. Wish I could have been up at the stage, but it was still cool. At this point, we were already like sat at our tables, having already like chosen who's going first or second, and have already like placed out our cards for it. So as soon as the opening ceremony ended, round one began. So of course, for any competition, ideally you are playing for first place. But a big benchmark for a lot of Pokemon players at a regional or at IC events is doing well enough to make day two. Day one of the TCG consists of 9 rounds of Swiss matchmaking. The Swiss system, if you're not aware of it, is non-elimination rounds. Your matchups are dependent on people with similar records, such as someone who has won 2 rounds will most likely pair into someone else who has won 2 rounds. As you get further into these rounds, someone might be up paired or down paired based off percentages that I can't even try and explain to you because I barely understand them myself. But of these 9 rounds, we have 50 minutes to play a best of 3. For NAIC, I chose to play Goldango Dragapult. It's a deck that I've been having a lot of fun with at my local level. Recently, right before this event, I won a challenge. I won a local in which Destined Rivals format was legal, as NAIC was also when Destined Rivals became legal. So there were a few new decks that were here, as well as a few new cards. In my Dangopult deck, I had switched it up a little bit from when I had won the challenge, but I still felt pretty confident going into this. I had also managed, like, the week before we came, I managed to get second place at a cup, so I was feeling really good with the deck going into the weekend. But, as I alluded to before, my run was anything but spectacular. To reach day 2, you need to win 7 of your rounds, only losing 2 of them. There are some other ways you can get there with some ties, but basically 7-2 is the bar that we're looking for. It's unlikely if you're aiming that low, you know, you're not going to be in contention for winning, but you'll have done something that a majority of players don't do, which is making day 2. Also, when you get to day 2, there are a couple more Swiss rounds, and if you do well enough at those, you can get high enough to earn some prizing, which there are cash prizes on the line. That's typically for 32 and higher, but you'll typically get a booster box of the newest set. And if you don't want to open it, you can sell those for a decent chunk of cash if you want. But let's go ahead and run through my day. My first round was against Raging Bolt, which is a bit of a tougher matchup. It's not Goldango's worse, but unfortunately they just had it every turn. And I put up a good fight in game 1, but I bricked game 2, ended up losing both games. Had a lot of fun, but it was a bit of a rough way to start the day. Next up, I matched into yet another Raging Bolt. And while I didn't realize that at the time, I'm just, something you need to know about me is I'm terrible with faces, I'm terrible with names, I'm terrible with memory of most things. Later that night, as we were just like kind of running through everyone's day, my friends informed me that I had played against someone who's both a well-known player and they're also a commentator for the European events like the EU IC and stuff like that. But don't worry, I didn't do anything like weird or dumb, like ask them if they went to events regular, or anything ironic like that. My friends definitely give me a hard time for that later, like, obviously they go to events. I was like, look, I don't know. But we had a lot of fun, and I did walk away with my first win of the day. My third round brought me my first of 2 mirror matches that I would have for the day, and this is also my only tie of the day. I ended up winning the first game, and honestly, I let the second game run much too long. You have 50 minutes to play 3 games or win 2 games, but you need to know when to scoop and move on to the next game, and I let this second game run much longer than I should have. I had won the first one, so I thought I could have pulled it off, but I definitely should have scooped. And while these rules are changing for the 2026 season, we aren't going to get into them in this video, the ruling for playing at the time was when time was called, when those 50 minutes hit 0, then whoever's turn it was becomes turn 0, and you play out 3 turns. In our case, it was my opponent's turn 0, I became turn 1, I attacked and I took 2 prize cards. I had taken 4, only needing 2 more to take. And as it passed to my opponent, I was in a winning board state. They hadn't taken a single prize card yet, and I was basically just set to win this one. They only had 2 Gimme Ghouls down, which are both worth 1 prize card. They drew their card, they looked at the board, they looked at me, they looked at their hand, they looked at the board, they looked at me, and then they were like, if I just pass to you, you can't win, so it's just a draw, right? And I was like, yeah, that is the case. So we tied, which on me. Again, I should have played faster. Round 4, I played into one of the new decks for this Destined Rivals format, the Team Rockets Mewtwo, and I snagged a pretty easy win. Round 5 was against one of the bigger new decks, the one that a lot of people expected to do really well at this event and counter Gardevoir. Spoiler alert, it didn't. And that is Marnie's Grimmsnarl. I had been actively planning for this deck. I had cards specifically teched in to deal with it, had some really solid results in testing, and at that local challenge where I ended up beating 2 of them before we came here. And I believed in the heart of cards, but they did not believe in me, and I walked away with my second loss. At this point, with 2 losses and 1 tie, if I win every other game, I can still make it into day 2. I'll get a very low placement, and there is still a chance that even off percentages, I might not make day 2. It's a whole thing, but at least I can maybe get some prizes and some different stuff like that. So for round 6, since my opponent and I both have the similar win-loss, we made a gentleman's agreement that we would not let the round end in a tie. If when time is called and neither of us could close out the set, we would discuss who is clearly about to win, and the other person would scoop up and walk away. As we ended up setting up, my opponent did not draw a basic Pokemon, which means they have mulliganed. So they reveal to me their 7 cards while I set up, and I get to draw an additional card for every mulligan they take. But as soon as I looked at the 7 cards that they had, I kind of laughed at them. Not at them, but like laughed and was like, we aren't going to need this gentleman's agreement. Like, I'm just telling you right now, we aren't going to need it. This game is going to be over pretty quickly. And they were like, what? No, it's going to be fine. They were playing one of the other new decks, Ethan's Typhlosion. This is a purely single prize deck. It's also a fire deck, and it is by far my worst matchup, as it easily knocks me out and takes prizes faster than I can. At least with Flareon Box, which is also a bad matchup, I'm at least taking 2 prizes back, or Raging Bolt, I take 2 prizes. This, I only take 1 prize. It's not. We were done in 15 minutes, and my opponent was like, yeah, I guess you were right. We didn't need it. But they were great. I had a lot of fun with them. And if you're interested in seeing more about this deck, I have an entire video with multiple games of it on my channel because it's a really fun deck, and you should definitely check it out. Round 7 was another loss to Raging Bolt. Round 8, I defeated the Grimmsnarl, and for my final round, I had another Goldango mirror match. I lost the first game, but I quickly bounced back for the second game, and I did inform the opponent this was the only time I had to ask someone to play a little faster. And I was just like, we need to pick it up. I was like, we got like 15 minutes left for this game 3. I was like, so let's run through it. And I managed to close out game 3 right as time was called, which is pretty good. This gave me my final record of 4 wins, 4 losses, and 1 tie. So definitely as not close enough to day 2. But it is a better record than my 3 wins and 6 losses that I had at Atlanta. So I will take the improvement. And exhausted after playing 12 hours of Pokemon, We got a late dinner and we crashed. Even though our group didn't make day 2, there was still a ton for us to do around the venue, and the first thing we did was check out the Play Lab. If you watched the Atlanta video, you will remember me talking about first steps, which is kind of like a tutorial that they do at regionals for people who want to learn how to play the TCG. Yeah, you make a deck from some cards. It's not a super meta, like incredible deck, but you at least get to learn the basics and you're walked through a game. At NAIC, this is taken to a whole nother level. Here at the Play Lab, you could learn how to play the TCG, the video games, and Pokemon Unite. There's also a small area right outside where they taught you the basics of like Pokemon Go. And these are all free things, like it's just part of your pass. So my friends and I went in and we did the TCG and the video game one. Now the reason we did the TCG one, I know what you're thinking, aren't you literally here playing as a competitor? Why do you need to be taught how to play the TCG? Well, A, there's always more to learn. B, none of this is viable information for someone who knows how to play the game already. But C, you get free things for doing it. And for this one, they gave you a Charizard and Pikachu deck, the same one they teach you how to play there, which is just a cool little thing to toss on a shelf. But more importantly, you get this TCG pin that has Glaceon on it, which is just so cool. And then also for doing the video game one, I needed this desperately. It is a cool lens cloth, but it has a type chart on the back. And if you've watched any of my regular Pokemon content, like doing Nuzlocke and stuff, I constantly forget the basics of type matchups. So I needed something. We of course had to go to Cafe de Monde and get ourselves some coffee and beignets, which was just probably a big highlight of the trip. The food was a big highlight all around. I really like food. After this, we had my actual Pokemon Center reservation. So I went in, I got myself a Surging Sparks ETB. I opened it at the same tables that we were playing at the day before. I have a whole YouTube short if you want to see how those pulls went. I actually pulled some really cool cards. And they were also selling booster bundles of Shrouded Fable. So we went ahead and we did some pack battles. Wait. Okay, go. Light Stretcher, pretty good card.
I'm just gonna go through.
Oh!
Pretty good.
Alright.
That's good.
Alright.
That's pretty good.
Thought I had that one.
Pretty good. You almost had it.
Top 64.
Angela. Oh!
Yo,
Oh
Zorua.
my god, I want that so bad.
Hey!
Hey!
Alright. Oh, wait, everybody got a hit in there? It's fuck.
Alright, show the camera, Josh. That is so pretty.
It's a gorgeous card.
Monkey.
What'd you get?
And of course, at any Pokemon event, there are some side events that you can do. Of course, these are open to anyone with a badge, competitors, spectators, competing in whatever. You can take part in any of the side events. They are additional charges to play in these, one of which we did today was a $10 Ditto pack battle, where we got 2 packs of Destined Rivals, and we used basically the 20 cards that we pulled, and add any amount of energy, and you make a 30 card deck. The way the Ditto pack battle works is once per turn, any basic Pokemon can evolve into any stage 1 Pokemon, which creates some pretty interesting combinations. In this format, every Pokemon's Ditto. I built a fun team that was around my hits. I had this Team Rocket and an Ethan's Quilava, but unfortunately I was only able to win the first round. In this specific side, you only got prize tickets for winning, but 2 Destined Rivals packs for $10 is a pretty good deal to me. At that point, top 8 cut had started, so we went ahead and hung out the rest of the day, kind of just watching the rest of it, and we even managed to make it on stream again with some high quality clapping. And then we brought the night to the close with some of the best food I've ever eaten. I don't have any videos of it, but just know that this was the best jambalaya I've ever had, and I still think about it. Even right now, like 3 weeks later, I'm still thinking about how good this food was. I really like food. Day 3 at NAIC means it is Championship Sunday. Unlike regional events, at ICs, all of those final matches are held on Sunday. So that, of course, is for Pokemon Unite, Pokemon Go, the TCG, and the video game. After watching the Pokemon Unite finals, we spent the rest of the day doing standard TCG 8-player pods, which are $10 to play into, and it's a single elimination style. If you lose the first round, though, you still get 20 prize tickets. Losing round 2 gets you 40 prize tickets, and if you lose in the finals, you get 60 prize tickets, and a win gets you 100. We played a couple of these throughout the day. I didn't do super hot, but after we played 3, and I managed to walk away with 100 prize tickets, which took us all the way to the prize wall. The prize wall had a lot of cool items, from playmats to plushies, but they also had packs. And for 10 tickets, you can get yourself a pack, which meant for 100 prize tickets, I could grab 10 packs of Destined Rivals. That's better than MSRP. $30 for 10 packs. I'll take that deal. I went ahead and opened up the 10 packs of Destined Rivals. It's another little YouTube short. You should definitely check it out. I got my chase card for the whole set. I was so hyped. It was incredible. And after that point, all that was left to do was to watch the finals of the TCG, while the Masters was in the most exciting matchup, just Guardy versus Guardy. There was a really cool brother-sister matchup in juniors. The seniors, of course, had a fun match, but just Guardy versus Guardy, like, I'm so tired of Guardy, and I know Gardevoir's only gets stronger as we go, and it's fine. So after an exhausting and expensive, but also so incredibly fun weekend, it was time to pack up and head home. As I said at the end of my Atlanta video, getting to go to these events is so much fun. I'm just so happy to be playing Pokemon. I keep seeing real improvement in my gameplay at the local level with challenges and cups, and then I'm already seeing improvement at my second event I go to. But again, at the end of the day, I'm just happy to be having fun, playing a game that as a kid, I didn't even know what you were supposed to do with the energy. I just thought it was just something they added to the packs for flavor. I really didn't know how to play this game as a kid. But hey, thanks for following along my journey. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like and consider subscribing. I've got so much Pokemon content, I don't even know what to do with it. Lots from TCGs, from Nuzlocke to playthroughs of fan-made hacks. There's so much for you to go check out, and you should definitely go do it. And also, stick around, because the 2026 season is already starting. It is. It started in, even before Worlds, the 2026 season has started. I don't know what regionals I'll be going to this year, but I definitely know I'll be back at NAIC next year. So again, to reiterate, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.